Om 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 Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Hari Om. So we saw in the last week, the 12th episode of Vision of Vedanta, we saw about how the 5 elements have emerged. There is Satchit Ananda is there, and then Brahmashraya Maya Asti. So from Maya, Maya is the power of Brahman, which is the expression of Brahman, the manifestation of Brahman. From that power, space emerged. From space, air emerged. From air, fire emerged. From fire, water emerged. And from water, earth emerged. So we saw this. Now, everything has got, since in everything there are the 3 gunas of Maya. Sattva guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. They exist in space. They exist in air. They exist in fire. They exist in water and in earth. So from the Sattva guna Amsha, Sattvika Amsha of Akasha, we see the Sattvika Amsha of every element. Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apaha, Prithvi. From all the 5 elements, the Sattvika Amsha. Sattvika Amsha means the thought element, from the thinking element or the knowing element of all the 5. We know space, we know air, we know fire, we know water, we know earth. So from the thinking of all the 5 elements, the knowledge aspect of the 5 elements, what all emerged, what all we experienced, there is a knowledge aspect of Akasha in our experience. So what is it? Panchatatvana madhye Akashasya Sattvika Amshat Shrotra Indriyam Sambhutam. Because of the presence of the Sattva Guna in Akasha, we have the power to hear. The presence of Sattva in space gives us the power of space. Is present everywhere. It is present outside. It is present inside. So the power of hearing is invoked because of the Sattvika Guna, Sattva Guna of space. The power of Vayoho Sattvika Amshat Tvagindriyam Sambhutam. Because of the presence of Vayu inside us and outside us, we have the experience of feeling. When air contacts the skin, we are able to feel from within. Not only air, anything else, any pricking or any heat or anything that comes in touch with our skin, from within we are able to experience that sensation because of the presence of the Sattvika, the knowledge aspect of Vayu. Agnehe satvika amshat chakshurindriyam sambhutam. We can see Agni here in the form of the lamp. The fire is existing. The knowledge aspect of fire means the fire reveals its presence. The fire reveals its presence. That knowledge aspect is caught by the power in our eyes. The knowledge aspect of fire manifests as power of seeing in our eyes. The knowledge aspect of water. Water is there. It reveals itself as water. When it comes in contact with our skin, we experience it as the power of taste. When the knowledge aspect of water, sattva guna of water, meets the sense organ of perception of the tongue, then we experience it as taste. And the sattva guna, the prithuvyaha satvika amshat grana indriyam sambhutam. The sattva guna, the knowledge, Prithvi reveals itself. The earth reveals itself. All the time the earth does not reveal itself. It does reveal itself all the time, but we don't experience it all the time. When do we experience the presence of the earth? When the earth is very parched and dry and hot because of the hot summer daytime. And then the showers come, the mango showers come because of the heat, clouds form. And when the first drops of rain fall on the earth reveals its presence through its smell, the smell of grass. We feel that and we experience the earth for the presence of the earth. So the sattvika amsha of Prithvi is its capacity to reveal itself. That capacity to reveal itself manifests in ourselves as the knowledge, the power of smell, the power of knowing. Prithuvyaha sattvika amshat grana indriyam sambhutam. Sambhutam means manifest. We are able to smell. So, what does this actually mean? The presence of space, the presence of air, the presence of water, the presence of fire, and the presence of earth gives us the power of our capacity to hear, see, feel, see, taste, and smell. So every morning when we get up, this knowledge should give us tremendous gratitude for the 5 elements present in the form of this earth around us, because without the presence of this earth, we cannot exist. Even if we exist, we cannot experience the joys of life in the form of seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touching without the sattvika amsha of these 5 elements. The next one. So what is it that we have inside? What is it that we experience inside? Because of the sattvika amsha, because of the knowledge aspect of the earth, water, fire, air, and space, we have knowledge. We have the thought of sound. We have the thought of form. We have the thought of smell. We have the thought of taste. And we have the thought of feeling. Now, the Rajasa Amsha, or the powerful aspect or the dynamic aspect of the 5 elements. So what does that give us? Etesham panchatattvan. Okay, sorry. One more is there. We saw the individual power of knowledge of all the 5 elements. Now, the collective power of knowledge of the 5 elements, what does it give us? Etesham panchatattvanam samashti sattvika amshat mano buddhi ahankara chitta antakaranani sambhutani. So samashti sattvika amsha, the independent sattvika, independent power to grant revealing The independent revealing power of the 5 elements give us the independent revealing knowledge of our 5 sense organs. The collective revealing power of the Sattvika Amsha, or the goodness state, the existence state of all the 5 elements, gives us 4 inner equipment. What are they? Manaha, Buddhi, Chitta, and Ahankara. They are the Antakaranani. Antakarana means inner equipment. The 5 sense organs of perception are the Bahirkarana, or the outer equipment of perception. The inner equipment of perception of our thoughts, feelings, emotions, decisions, the sense of I, the memories that we remember, everything is because of these 4 aspects of our inner equipment. And the 4 aspects of the inner equipment are formed due to the Sattvika Amsha of the 5 elements. Etesham Panchatattvanam Samashti Sattvika Amshat Mano Buddhi Chitta Ahankara Antakaranani Sambhutani. So what are the qualities? It's a very beautiful definition. Tatwabodha is full of definitions. It defines the mind. What is the definition of the mind? What is the nature of the mind? What is the work that the mind does? Sankalpa Vikalpatmikam Atmakam Manaha Nishchayatmika Buddhihi Aham Karta Aham Karaha Chintana Kartru Chittam Manaso Devata Chandramaha Buddhehe Brahma Ahamkarasya Rudraha Chittasya Vasudevaha. Sankalpa Vikalpa Atmika Manaha. The attribute of the mind, or the work of the mind, is to do Sankalpa and Vikalpa. Vikalpa happens automatically. Sankalpa happens with some effort. So what is Sankalpa? Samyak Kalpaha, which means proper imagination. Suppose you're going to have a big program, a dance program tomorrow, which you are going to perform. Then you do the Sankalpa. This is a stage. The stage props are all kept there. I will wear this dress, this abhinaya, whatever the ahari abhinaya, all this kind of makeup, this kind of colored dress, these kind of flowers, these kinds of jewelry, all that we imagine. And then I will enter into the stage from this side. I will do the Ganesha Kautvam. I will do Namaskara to Nataraja, and then the Namaskara to the stage. Everything is, it's like a dress rehearsal we can do. Sankalpam is like a rehearsal of whatever is going to happen in future. We rehearse it in our mind, we plan it out well, we write it out, we think about it, we decide about it. That is called Sankalpa, proper imagination. The Sankalpa that we commonly take is during our puja. We say, I want this, Kshema, Sthairya, Virya, Vijaya, Ayuhu, Arogya, Ishwarya, Abhivruddhyartham, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, Chaturvidha, Phalapurushartha, Siddhyartham, Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadama, Uparamastitiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam, Mumukshutvam, Chasiddhyartham. Then we pray for our country. We have a Sankalpa for our country. Bharat Rashtrasya Punaruthana Ekata Jagarana Siddhyartham Cha Aham Pujam Karishe. This is Sankalpa. The other aspect of Sankalpa is Vikalpa. Vikalpa means any which thought, any which way, whatever happens, just like that some thought comes up, it is a Vikalpa. So we don't need to be concerning ourselves about all thoughts. All the Vikalpas that we get in our mind shows that these thoughts are all there. These thoughts are all existing in the atmosphere around. So that is Vikalpa. Sankalpa is whatever we want to establish in this world, the thoughts that we want to set, we want to imagine, we want it to happen, that is called our Sankalpa. So this is the nature of the mind. doing sankalpas and vikalpas. Then what does the buddhi do? Nishchayatmika buddhi. No, this thought, this thought, this thought. This thought is different from this thought. This thought is like, it doesn't suit me. What are all the thoughts that suit me really? What are all the thoughts that don't suit me? All this being done by the buddhi. The buddhi sorts out the thoughts. The buddhi sets the thought in perspective. The buddhi is capable of focusing its attention on one thought. The buddhi is capable of standardizing a thought. And the buddhi is capable of sustaining a thought. The buddhi is capable of acting upon a thought. It is the same mind. It's the same presence of consciousness in the body within the prana, but depending on its functioning, it is called the mind, or it's called the buddhi, or it's called the ahankara, or it is called the chitta. For example, it is the same man, but when he is alone, he is called the man. There is ahankara, I am a man. But when he is associated with his wife, he is called husband. When he is associated with his children, he is called father. When he is associated with his sister, he is called brother. Sister and brothers, he is called brother. When he is associated with his parents, he is called son. When he is associated with the work, he is called an employee or a boss or a subordinate, whatever he may be called. When he is associated with some shop, he is called a customer. When he is associated with the boss in the shop, he is called the owner. It is the same man. It is the same substance of consciousness, but depending on what is the work it does, it is called either manas or buddhi. Nishchayatmika buddhi. Buddhi is the one that decides on everything. Shall I go or shall I not go? Should I do or should I not do? This is the mind. Then the mind, the buddhi says, yes, you should do this. You should go there. It's called the buddhi. Ahamkarta, ahankaraha. The one that says, it is I who does this work. See, all these things are happening by the different equipment. Among the four equipment, the mind has sankalpa vikalpa, the buddhi takes the decision, then the memory bank, the next one that's going to come. But with everything, this I thought is added. I thought, I am having confusion. Then I decided on this. These are all my memories of the past. Everything is associated with the ahamkara. Ahamkarta, ahamkaraha. Chintana kartru chittam. Chintana kartru chittam means that which keeps, churning inside constantly some memories, some one memory or many memories together. They galvanize and they keep moving something inside. So the purpose of yoga itself is to chitta vritti. This chitta is always moving into waves. That day I went there, one memory thought will be there. That person spoke to me like this. Why did that person speak to me like this? Because maybe that person had a very difficult experience in the childhood. And that is why when I came with this thought and this expression, that person spoke to me like this. This kind of a churning keeps going on all the time. The churning happens, and when the churning process is on, it is called chittam. So when do we know when the person is experiencing the chittam in his antakarana? Just like that, when they are lost in thought, they are going on thinking something again and again. Some repetitive thought is there, some raising thought is there, some compulsive or intrusive thought is there. Everything is happening in the chittam. The whole process of yoga just tells us by abhyasa and vairagya. Abhyasa means I constantly practice. I keep my focus on one thing. I am practicing. I need to think like this. I need to express like this. This constant practice is abhyasa. Vairagya is withdrawing myself from withdrawing myself from other experiences that are not suitable for my growth and my progress in life. For example, if I want to control my mind, if I want to be the master of my mind, these are the two things that Patanjali Maharishi says practice in our life. One is abhyasa, one is vairagya. It is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita also. It is mentioned in the Yoga Vasishtha also. There is not any text on the mind and the mental control that does not mention about abhyasa and vairagya. So what is abhyasa? Taking up one practice. It can be practice of music, it can be practice of study of literature, it can be practice of sports, it can be practice of sewing with a sewing machine, it can be practice of cooking in the kitchen, it can be the practice of gardening, it can be the practice of playing chess, it can be the practice of even video games, but we don't need to practice that. It comes very easily. So it does not give any kind of it has got more addictive powers than these games like chess or maybe some other card games or board games or Scrabble. These games give a lot of effort for our mind to think. Whereas in media also, we have something called hot media and cold media. Hot media, like the radio and all that, it gives us a lot of power to imagine. We have to imagine many things in our mind. When they talk about the news, when they give some story on the radio, the mind sets into a lot of imagination. It has to construct the thoughts and it has to bring the visuals in the mind. Cold media is like television or whatever it is that we have today. Everything is being given, everything is being fed to us. So we don't really need to do much work. So chintana kartru chittam. Then everything has got a devata. So we have gods, just like how we saw all the sense organs have one deity sitting inside. We have gods. Different gods are people who are governing and sitting inside and they are doing the operation work. They are having control over the mind. That is why we say even if you don't know how to control the mind, you surrender to God and the God will take care and control the mind. Even if you don't know how to drive a car, it is okay. Surrender to the driver, pay money to the driver and he will control the car for you. He will drive the car for you. In the same way, that is why we have Krishna as Parthasarathi. Arjuna did not know what to do in the war. So he surrendered to Krishna and Krishna says, you leave it to me. Yoga kshemam vaham yaham. I will take care of your yoga and I will take care of what you need to get. I will take care of that kshema also. If you need victory in war, I will take care of that and I will protect that victory in your war. So Manaso Devata Chandramaha. Chandrama, the moon, is the god of the mind. So when we pray, when we look up to the moon with love and respect on a day-to-day basis, every day we look up at the moon, we see that is why Sahasra Chandra Darshi, people who are all 84 years, they say if we have been looking at the moon from the time the Upanayana has been done with knowledge, with love and with respect, you look up at the moon every day and that moon can bless us by keeping our mind quiet. Manaso Devata Chandramaha. Buddhehe Brahma. The Devata of the Buddhi is Brahma. One word, one meaning for the word Brahma is the Devata. The other meaning for the word Brahma is also Veda. Knowledge is the patron saint of our Buddhi. In our Buddhi, we experience knowledge because of the presence of the Devata called Brahma. Ahankarasya Rudraha. Rudra or the Devata of the cremation ground, an emanation of Shiva, where the final essence of a personality, after the death happens, the body has dropped, the body is taken to the cremation ground, the body is burnt there, what remains is Rudra. And that Rudra is the devata that governs our ahamkara or the I thought. The thought says, I am having this sankalpa, I am having this vikalpa, I am having this knowledge, I do not know. Then I am having these memories, I am having these worries, I am having these anxieties, I am having this hatred, I am having this love. For everything, the I comes. As I told earlier in these talks, this ahankara is like the small child which keeps running around in the cricket field when other elder boys are playing. I will bat, I will bowl, I will field. It will not leave until the chance is given by everybody, and then finally they take the child and hand over to the parent and tell, please take care of your child, he is not allowing us to play. In the same way, the I thought within does not allow us to do any work in peace, because it identifies, it separates itself first and then identifies separately with everything and says and then we are not able to peacefully experience anything in this world because of the presence of this I thought in everything. Ahankarasya Rudraha. But when this I thought surrenders to Rudra, then the I thought becomes calm and it expresses only when it has to express. Wherever it is required to express, only there it will express. Other times it will remain quiet. Chittasya Vasudevaha. Vasudeva, an emanation of Vasudeva, is Bhagavan Shri Krishna. When you pray to Vasudeva, when you pray to Bhagavan Shri Krishna, he has the capacity to control all the memories, to control all the different kinds of churning of thoughts. Everything is kept under control by Bhagavan Shri Krishna. So whenever we say churning or chewing the cud, he is a Gopala. He tends to the cows. So what are all the different thoughts that we churn? For example, we see something. It's like the mind is like a grazing field. The mind is constantly grazing everywhere, chewing at something. Some vision comes, some sound comes, some smell comes, some taste is experienced, some feeling is experienced. Everything is going on, entering into our mind constantly. On the minute, every minute, we are getting sensations we are experiencing. And the mind is constantly churning. And in that churning, what happens is, like we go on eat. Just imagine if you're going on eating. Food is going on inside into the stomach. There is no space inside. So the mind is going on receiving impulses from the world. It is churning. How long can it churn? It cannot churn. So you offer those thoughts to Krishna. Krishna, I'm getting so many experiences. I don't know how to handle them. I offer them to you. You offer them as a song, you offer them as a prayer, you offer them as a letter, you offer them as an activity. Everything you offer to Bhagavan. You don't keep them inside, you offer them outside. If you don't offer, what happens? If we don't have any sadhanas that we do, any bhakti sadhana, where we, if you go to a temple, the person says, they're going on experiencing a lot of trouble in their office, not getting the promotion, desires are not fulfilled. Then they go and stand before Bhagavan. Bhagavan, you know what? You know how much I've struggled for this job, how much I need the money also in this job, how much, so much of difficulty I'm going through, but still I'm not getting my promotion, and I want promotion, I want a raise in my salary. Everything he talks to Bhagavan. And then whether he gets a raise in the salary or whether he gets a promotion or not, his mind is clear, because constantly we are getting inputs into our chitta. So chittasya, the adidevata. Adidevata means like in our home, the mother is our adidevata. In the office, the father can be the adidevata. In the home, the mother is the adidevata. So wherever we go, whatever we do, whatever we experience, we come and pour it to our mother, and she will tell, no, this happened, that happened, it is okay, now eat this, take care of this, do this work. Whenever tomorrow such a situation comes, you can do like this. Everything the mother will talk to us. In the same way, these Adidevatas are all sitting inside our body, constantly waiting for us. waiting for us to come to them and waiting for us to say, you know what, I'm not able to handle this mind. I'm not able to handle my memories. I'm not able to handle my intellect. I do not know. That particular Adidevata will make you experience whatever you want to know. If the ahankara is too much, you know what? I went today. These people are all such learned people, such wise people. I went and bragged about myself. I went and bragged about my education. Everybody is snidely smiling at me because I expressed myself too much in that group of learned people without even knowing. I made a fool of myself. You come and cry to Rudra. Rudra will give you control. Rudra will help you to control your own identity. Rudra will help you to control um, your own expressions in this world, the expressions of the I in this world. So these devatas are all there inside us. We can, it is not the question of making use of them. We need to love and respect them. First of all, know that they are there, love them and respect them. Then we will be able to live a very controlled, happy, cheerful life outside and a controlled, happy, cheerful life of experiences within. And we will constantly rise on the spiritual path with the help of these devatas that are there, present on the hour, 24 hours, all the time alert, all the time available for us. We go behind people who are not available for us in this world. We seek love from elsewhere with people who don't want to give us love. But here, these devatas are there 24 hours, all the time of our life. They are there, present and available. They want to give us love, they want to give us respect. We leave them and we go searching here and there. Now, the Rajasha Amsa of the five tattvas of water, earth, fire, air and space. They have a Rajasa Amsha means the earth has got power. There is some power in the earth. That is what we get when that power in the earth is only giving us all our metals, all our minerals, the content of the earth. There is some heat inside the earth. Everything has got power in it. Water has got power in it. So that is why geothermal power. We mine and we get power from the earth. When we get power, we get power from water. We call it hydroelectric power, hydel power. 1 minute. Somebody is asking a question. Tatwabodha. Tatwabodha is a text. I'm trying to type an answer. It is there in our, in the introduction, it is there. Tatwabodha is mentioned here. So hydroelectric power. Etesham, when from water we get hydroelectric power. From fire also we can generate power. We get solar power, which is generated from fire, from the sun. And then we get wind power from the air. And from space also, we can harness power. The power of space is there. Etesham panchatattvanam madhye akashasya rajasa amshat vagindriyam sambhutam. From that power of space, we get the power of speech. How beautiful is all this? No, we have never experienced. I do not know if any scientific textbook of today mentions how we get the power of speaking. Akashasya rajasa amshat vag indriyam sambhutam. The power of air. From the power of air, what do we feel? Vayoho rajasa amshat panindriyam sambhutam. From the power of air, we get the power of grasping. We get the power of holding things with our hands. Then, from the power of fire, Agne Vahnehe Rajasa Amshat Padendriyam Sambhutam. From the power of Agni or fire, we get the power of locomotion. That is why when somebody is really moving fast and cutting a path for themselves, we call them a trailblazer. blazing a trail, meaning creating fire wherever you go. Agnehe, Vagnehe, Rajasa Amshat. From the power of fire, we get the power of movement. When we invoke fire, when we invoke the Devata of fire, we get the capacity to move anywhere in this earth, travel anywhere in this earth. So if you want to travel well, if you want to go places, they say feet are hot. You know, whenever the wheel moves, there is spark, they say. Sparks are coming when the wheels are moving fast. So Rajasamshat, Pada Indriyam, the sense organs of locomotion, the power of locomotion is happening because of the power of the feet. Because of the power of the fire. And where is this fire? The fire is present abundantly in the form of heat in the earth. When the heat in the earth is coming in contact with our feet, then we get the power of locomotion. So that is how when you see the wheel is moving and there is a stable thing, even in our, if you see all these races, Irangatu Kote in Chennai, all these races, we are all seeing the sparks that come out because of the very high speed that the vehicle is taking, the wheel is taking on the ground. Rajasa Amshat, Pada Indriyam, Alvin Toffler says, all the vehicles and all the machines are all only extensions of the power of our body, the power of locomotion. The camera is the extension of our eyes. The car is the extension of our legs. In the same way, the Jalasya Rajasa Amshat Upastha Indriyam Sambhutam. Upastha Indriya means the sense organ of reproduction. And how does the sense organ of reproduction gain its power? It gains its power from the power of water, from the Rajasa aspect. Rajasa means power. When Satvika is knowledge, Rajasa is the expression of that knowledge. Satvika is the revelation. There is earth. Sattva, existence. There is earth. There is water. There is fire. There is air. There is space. When the earth expresses itself, it expresses itself in the form of smell, which is experienced by the nose. When the water expresses itself, it expresses itself in the form of taste, which is experienced by the tongue. When the fire expresses itself, it expresses itself in the form of movement, locomotion, which is experienced by the feet and experienced by the eyes as the power of seeing, forms. When air expresses itself, it expresses itself in the form of grasping something, giving the power to hold, the holding capacity, which is there in the hands, and the air expresses itself in the form of feeling capacity in our sense organ of skin. The space, when it expresses itself as the power to speak. It expresses itself, and it expresses itself as a power to hear. Whatever we hear, we speak. You know, somebody tells you some gossip or some story, immediately you have to go and tell it to somebody, because the power of hearing and the power of speech is connected through the space. Space is there for the ear also. Space is there for the mouth also. And the space is the same space that connects the ear and the mouth. So whatever is heard here, inside going, outside coming. Prithivya Rajasa Amshat Gudendriyam Sambhutam. The Rajasa Amsha, the power of the earth, Prithvi, earth. Because of that, what is the sense organ that we experience? The sense organ that functions is the Indriya, the Guda Indriya. Guda means the organ of excretion. So everything etesham samashti rajasa amshat pancha pranaha sambhutaha. The samashti means the combined rajasa amsha. The combined samashti meaning the collective power, expression of power is happening through our 5 pranas, which are called prana, Pranamaya kosha. Prana, apana, vyana, samana, udana. Prana is the power of perception. Apana is the power of expulsion from the body. Vyana is the power of circulation. Samana is the power of digestion. And udana is the power of uplifting force, the uplifting thought that we get. The rising, everything that rises up from the body, the final rising up happens even in our emotional experiences. We have four types of expressions that we give: fight, flight. So we say fight. When something wrong happens, something we don't like happens, we give a fight. The next emotional expression is flight. Flight means we leave that scene. Not only the physical body, emotionally we cut ourselves off, we think about something else and we move out of the scene. The whole process of emotional grounding is not going through fight and flight, but staying there, being rooted in the body and experiencing, processing and expressing with calmness and with a centered mind. Etesham samashti rajasa amshat pancha pranaha sambhutaha. The five pranas happen with the samashti rajasa amsha. So then, etesham panchatattvanam madhye tamasa amshat panchikrita panchatatvani bhavanti. So we will stop here. The tamasa amsha. So we saw the sattvika amsha of the five elements. They form our five sense organs of perception. The sattvika amsha, the collective sattvika amsha forms the mind, the intellect, the chitta and the ahankara, and the rajasa amsha forms our sense organs of action, and the samashti or the collective rajasa. Rajasa means the power of all these five elements form the sense, form the collective power of all the five elements, form our five pranas. They are all powers in the body. Powers means every power, remember, they are a devata. They are all divine powers that are present in the body. Samashti Rajasa Amsha. And then you have the Samashti Tamasa Amsha. Tamasa means the power of existence alone. Earth is existing, water is existing, air is existing, fire is existing, space is existing, and existing as an object, as an inert object, inertia. The earth is inert, the water is inert, meaning it does not have the capacity to express itself or know, or we don't have water coming and talking to us, or earth talking to us, or fire coming and talking to us. They talk to us in the form of mind. We can say, some people say, the fire spoke to me, the fire called me, the earth is calling me. The stone, they talk of crystals. That crystal is talking to me. The talking is happening in our subtle experience. Grossly, they don't come and talk. Hey, Sharanya, Chaitanya, come here. I want you to buy me. The crystal in the shop will not tell me that. Okay? So that's what inertia means. That's what tamas means. And then you have fire, air, and space. The tamasic aspects of all these five form our whole physical body. And how does this physical body happen with these five elements? How they mix and they form? It is being explained in the subsequent lines. It is called a process called panchikaranam or quintuplification. So there is a video on this. I do not know how to link that video. There is a video on YouTube which I have explained about this. Let us see how I can upload it here or share the link with you. And so that is it. We will meet again next week for Vision of Vedanta. From tomorrow, April 2 or 3 or 4, I don't know. Yeah, April 3, 4, 5. We will have chapter 15 of the Bhagavad Gita, the Purushottama Yoga. It is a very essential chapter because it contains the essence of the Upanishads. Who am I? That is the substance of chapter 15. So we saw in this Tatwabodha, this I is going on looking outside. I am this, I am that, I am that, I am that. No. Who is that I? Who are you? We talk to that I or the Ahamkara, chapter 15. Let us see tomorrow, meet same time here for Srimad Bhagavad Gita in Tamil. Swami Chinmayanandarin Vai. Om Sarvesham Swastirбhavatu Sarvesham Shantirbhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mritam Gamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. हरे नमः पार्वती पतये. हर हर महादेव. हरि ओम.